Yeah, it's going around. Still gets that. My daughter said it was. No, that's us. That's us. You wanna go down one more?
Here?
Oh, it's actually-
If you drive by there, they have like apple trees right in front. Yeah, that attracts deer, of course, right? And I slow down every time I go by. And she does one thing in the school, this thing, that was, you know, wow. And I'm not, you know, there was a lot of damage, but took it. I got used to it.
Oh, yeah?
It was over 5.
Had camp again.
You don't take that.
Thank you, Joe, for taking that in consideration.
That's kind of grass.
Oh, there's Paul. You're
Just drag it.
I went to
Ah.
the granddaughter. Remember this?
Yeah.
Sunday?
I'm gonna click on our picture.
Driving Or north of.
Just too far. There.
Don't touch anything.
Oh.
Dogs up all over the place.
Starting?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, that's our February 17th city council meeting. With that, welcome for coming, and also the people on the Zoom. So we'll start at 6:36, we'll do the roll call.
36 or 632?
6:32.
Mayor Eckhorst. Mayor Eckhorst.
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you. Counselor Pendergrass,
Here.
Counselor Phillips,
Here.
Counselor Reisdorfer.
Here.
Counselor Spring. Here. Staff President Joe Palin, Mike is online, myself, Dean is in the back there, and Rachel.
Okay, on our packets, we're gonna, number 3 and room number 3 and 4 were turned, so we'll just do the approval of our agenda first before the public forum. So I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second.
We've got 2 quick changes. One is on your table is a application.
Sit on that chair that's
Way over there.
towards the railing.
Oh, okay. She'll warn me, right?
Somebody's on,
Oh,
the mute.
Well, she remembers that.
Yeah.
She didn't do well.
Yeah, I will. We'll try with this. Nope, that's this mouse. We need to take control.
Ready?
All right,
I'm getting there.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Sit over here. You draw it and listen.
You hold. Paul, just here, we're to mute you for right now. Okay.
Okay, there's 3 quick things. One is, the Two Sisters off-sale liquor license. We'll add that to the, in the consent agenda for license and permits. And then we will have a Citizens of the Year Award will be we'll have that before the public forum and after setting the agenda here in a few minutes.
We agreed to have the all liquor license.
Okay.
I thought we agreed to have all the liquor licenses separate from the consent.
They will pull that out by consent. That's okay. Any other changes? Seeing none, all those in favor as amended, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, next item is our Citizens of the Year Award. And with that, I'd like to have Bo come to the podium.
Good morning. Everyone have a blessed Valentine's last weekend. My name is Bo Hannenberger, along with Mayor Eichhorst. Skylar Breitenstein and I formerly served on city council for many years and continue to serve on the Orinoco Outstanding Citizen Committee. Regretfully, Skylar's work has him out of town, though he is joining on the Zoom meeting this evening. He expresses his gratitude to council for continuing to recognize the importance of this award and also sends his congratulations to the Outstanding Citizen of 2025. Many years ago, when we served on city council, Orinoco tragically lost a longtime businessman, Gordy Caravel. Gordy, like many others, believed in giving back to the community. When Skylar came up with the idea for this award to honor Gordy, with help from Gordy's nephew, Mac, the support of Gordy's wife, Yvonne, and the support of city council, saw a need to recognize so many people who give back to the city of Orinoco, our hidden gem of a community in southeast Minnesota. Without these types of volunteers, our small city wouldn't survive, yet alone thrive. This award hangs to the right as you enter into the Orinoco Community Center. Current and past residents can be nominated annually as long as when they volunteered for a local nonprofit organization, they resided and volunteered within the city of Orinoco. The next nominations will be in the window of fall of 2026. This award normally is held in December, but due to some behind the scenes logistics and timing issues, we're here tonight. But the love and care our residents have for our community knows no timing or end. This year's awardee began volunteering in Orinoco with the Lions Club in 2013. This person has served as the Orinoco Lions Club president for 2 years. This person has also been involved with the Fly Your Flag campaign and helped maintain the city's ice rink, helps with the annual community barbecue, and even began helping in downtown Orinoco Gold Rush Days, Kids Zone, and Car Show before becoming a board member of the downtown Orinoco Gold Rush Days. In addition, this person has also played Santa for the community for the past 10 years. This person has been described as being all heart, dedicated to serve others, and an all-around great guy who cares deeply about the Orinoco community. It's my pleasure to present this year's 2025 Outstanding Citizen of the Year to Mr. Mike Muller. Picture? Surprise. Congratulations. Well deserved. Well deserved.
We're gonna hear about all this fuss later, aren't we?
You're good.
All right.
Congratulations. Humble Highness.
Thank all of you for your service and volunteering for your positions. You're the real heroes for me.
Oh, my, yours is.
Time is our public forum. It's a 3-minute time limit per person. The city council welcomes and encourages participation from community members. Please keep in mind that your comments must be pertinent to city business and must adhere to data privacy rules. No employees' names may be used. We do not expect action from the council this evening regarding your concerns. To address the city council during public forum, please step up to the podium, state your name and address, and fill out a form provided. Speakers will be recognized only once. You will be timed. Begin speaking when the green card is raised. The yellow card indicates you have 30 seconds left, and the red card indicates you have reached your 3-minute time limit and must stop. So with that, I'll open the public forum at 6:40. Does anybody would like to speak? Please step to the podium.
Hello, I'm Steve Norland, 845 First Street, Northwest Orinoco. I'd like to ask this council if they are aware of the easement agreements that anyone with low pressure sewer lines installed in phase 1A project of the city sewer and water, if they were aware of any agreements that which included a blanket easement of total properties of 81 homes, which means that their homes have become unmarkable and questionable ownership, which would all have to be, I'd like to see a raise of hands. Is there anybody within this room that has seen those agreements? Okay, I take it that is a no with no response, a raise of hands. Okay? If I went to sell my home with the blanketed easement, I have a state statute here that says at any time, I mean, these easements as a blanket easement were permanent agreements. I have a state statute here that states at any time, 81 of these homes can ask to have that defined. And I'm an advocate for those 81 homes. Maybe they don't want their easement defined, but that will soon be found out. Okay? And yet, this city and people have accepted an award for a superior job on engineering on this project. Received an award. And by the way, pride themselves on $600,000+ under budget. Okay. That was robbery. Okay. And I thank you, Joe, for reconsidering this. But there are 81 homes out there that have the same right as I do. And if anybody would like to see the statute, it's right here. If anybody would like to see the agreements, I'm sure the city has a copy of them. Or wasn't it even presented to you from our legal counsel? I'd like answers, please. And thank you, Joe, and thank you, Jason, for your work today. Thank you, counsel.
Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to speak at public forum? Second call for public forum.
Hello, I'm Steve McMurray from 1115 Riverwood Drive, and I'm here to follow up on the email I sent earlier today. And I just want to point out that Riverwood Drive wasn't that bad a year ago. But fortunately, this winter has really took a havoc on it, and it's degraded to the point that even riding a bike down there is going to be treacherous this spring. There's numerous potholes on Shady Oak Road, the lane there, say that curve there. But right now, it's just one big pond on one side because of all the potholes. I was shocked when the snow melted, what happened. I think most people, I mean, everyone's slowing down. You don't have to worry about the speed over there. Everyone is, very cautious going around that curve now, but I know it wasn't going to be addressed for another couple of years, and that was just doing the normal seal coat. I don't even know if that's going to take care of it. And, and I know we only have so much dollars, and I like to keep in the budget and everything else, as you know. But I think we need to look at what we can do to at least patch it, just so from a safety standpoint. And, Ryland lives on the other side, my kids over there, they're due to be seal coated this year, and you need it on the road eventually. But what happened to us on our side, because Patrick went under it. So he put that second layer of tar down way before he should have. And then we had River Bend come in there. And I'd say probably 2/3 of development happened after the second layer was put down. So that we're a tar on top. took so much heavy weight of all this construction. That's why it's falling apart, you know? And of course, we only had one access, you know? So there's no one did anything wrong here. I just wanted to make you aware of, you know, it's not gonna get any better, it's only gonna get worse. And no one has an easy answer for this. I mean, you know, and so, but thanks for your time. Appreciate your listening. Thank you very much.
Appreciate the email. Third and final call for public forum. Seeing none, we'll close it at 6:46. All right. Sergeant Rain called me or left me a text with the sheriff report. He didn't have anything else to add other than what you see in the packet. So I did ask him about the alarms and alarms of falling off. There's some early January, but none since then. So. And if we do have any questions, we can let city staff, they can follow up with Sergeant Wren. Okay. Public Works. Next item. We've got a couple of motions. Payne, you want to speak to those briefly?
Yeah, sure can. Number one, street sweeping. I got 2 quotes for street sweeping this year. Usually we do this in the spring, clean up all the sand and salt from snow removal. Durst came in the cheaper, more economical one, so I'd like to request the approval of Durst to do the spring sweeping.
Who did it last year?
Last year Wiggum did it, and they were cheaper than Durst. Now this year, Durst is cheaper than Wiggum, so change in fuel price, labor costs, so it's cheaper this year.
I'll make a motion, we approve the Durst street sweeping quote for $3,200.
I'll second that.
Any other comments or discussion? Any time frame?
No, we're gonna wait until the snow is good and gone, right? You know, we've had a May snowstorm before, so it'll be April, May.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Oppose? It's approved.
Next item I've got is, we've got some, tree care planned for 2026. I've broken down the tree care into 3 parts, spring trimming, a little bit of reserve for the summer months, severe weather, and then a fall trimming. So, the spring trimming, we could trim on the oaks, ash, elms, while it's still safe to trim on them, disease, bugs, insects, so. We've got some work in Ornicle Park, a ton of oaks down there.
Guys, you can do that freaking lip chart. Those 2 trees.
Carroll County Park, all the parks. We've got some right of way work that we want to do too, and so I got together with the arborist, John Marks. We kind of came up with this plan of kind of splitting up the tree budget into thirds. 10,000 this spring. We're gonna reserve 10,000 for some emergency, and then another 10,000 for the fall. And that'll consume the budget for 2026. So I'm asking tonight for a spring trimming up to $10,000 for citywide tree services. So that's climbing, trimming, pruning, removal, bucket truck, grinder. That's everything that they offer. So
Make a motion to approve that.
Second it.
Any other comments? Just one quick comment. Appreciate everything you guys have been doing this fall. For trimming up some of the trees on Minnesota Avenue and Cedar
Yeah.
Woods Lane, so. great.
yeah, that chipper we got works great and yeah, it's going good. Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, that's approved.
Thank you.
Payne, before you leave.
Yeah.
Next is the fire department. Who wants to speak to that, Johan, or you, about the first item, the tracking monitor?
Oh, I'm here. I'll speak to the generator tracking. So, at the fire hall, there is a natural gas generator. And, that serves, emergency power. If the power were to go out, that building over there, the doors, the lights, everything works. It's kind of critical for the emergency operations center and the ambulance and fire trucks to get out. So, one thing that those generator systems lack is a monitoring system. If you guys recall, we got a monitoring system for the wastewater treatment facility generator. That's it's on my tablet, it's on my phone, it's on my computer. So I could be laying in bed, middle of the night, Christmas morning, and it lets me know what's going on. If it's ready, there's a fault. If it's running, there's a communication issue. I've got a lot of peace of mind with that remote monitoring ability. The fire hall generator is a Kohler. It's what you see in front of you tonight is brand specific to the Kohler generator, similar to the one at treatment facility. It does a lot. There's a lot we get out of that monitoring system. There is a subscription. We do have to pay an annual subscription with Kohler generators. The Caterpillar one at the plant, we don't. It's just a little different between manufacturers. I would like to have that. I brought it up to the fire department the other night, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's got some value to it. I got the fire department to agree, so I've got their support. Now tonight I'd like to get council support.
Well, the bill right now is $4,073. Plus 438, or is that 4,000?
That's included in that
The
4,000.
first year.
Yep, that's included. Yep. So we will have to budget for it, and like we talked, Adam Braze, Johan, and I, we all talked that we'd budget for that in the years to come. 2027, we'd budget for that in the EOC budget, most likely. There's a line item for generator maintenance. Seems fitting.
What does that annual subscription get you?
So I think it's similar to like a data plan, a cell phone plan, right? Like that's just what it takes to operate the thing. So
But they're not gonna help troubleshoot or, it's just an alerting system, so I don't know.
it's an alerting system. So a lot of the information that I'll get from that alert system, I can troubleshoot.
Okay.
We
So
need to have a motion first before we get into discussion. We missed the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the remote monitoring system for the fire hall generator.
I'll second it.
No, we've already got an agreement that there is for maintenance that goes along with this stuff over in the fire hall.
yes.
And we watch the generator, we watch everything else that way. I think it's always nice to have bells and whistles. I really don't think that this is as critical as what it is if we didn't have the other agreements that there are. Especially for travel and parts, $2,693, okay, for travel and parts for this. The things work great. We've been in a good situation. We've got great maintenance there is behind it. I say that we put this off and put it on the budget for next year.
So, maybe Johan, but right now you have 12,000 in the budget. Is there
Yes.
anything else that you have coming up? Might be used that for me, that's just your maintenance, but
Yep, there will be, there are a couple things, I think in the engine bay will be 2 engines, we're gonna be replacing the 25-year-old, 20-year-old, garage door openers. So those will get replaced here this year. I'm gonna kind of do it like a rolling replacement, so we don't replace all 6 at once. So that's one of the items that's on my list.
so the balance of 8,000 or 7,500 would be enough to cover a door, 2 doors.
So.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think the monitoring system's a good thing.
you know, and,
I know they cycle once a month, but that's when they don't cycle.
so when they don't
System.
cycle, that's when you don't know you have a problem until you have a problem, right? Power goes out and the fire hall is dark, right? That's gonna cause some issue and some concern. You know, one thing I'd like to add is all of these standalone generators we have one at the treatment facility. It's got an automatic transfer switch and it's got the remote monitoring. I think those are three things that go hand in hand, right? Why have an automatic transfer switch if you don't have a generator? Why have a generator if you don't? I think there's a lot of things that play into that. So this standard, having that remote monitoring ability, I'd like to have that through all of our standalone generators. Lift station 1, the treatment facility. If we do install one at one of our well houses in the future here at City Hall, we'd have a standard where we can do this. We have that capability, and that way we don't have one oddball that's just kind of a lone ranger. You don't know if it runs or not. And like I said, there's a lot of peace of mind. I know a lot of people, a lot of the citizens would like having that peace of mind, having an EOC operations, and so.
And again, I think we have peace of mind. We have the maintenance contract. We do have that stuff that's in place right now. The only difference is it just doesn't show up on your computer at bed at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Right.
That's the only thing we're missing.
Yep, you don't have that 24/7 ability, yep.
So again, it's something that's nice to have, like with everything else that way, but again, I just think that we can put that off to next year and put it on next year's budget.
So it goes down, are you gonna be the only one or whoever's on call, or would fire and first responders also get notification? Like who's the long-term owner of
You
the?
know, I think that needs some clarification, you know, what my role is as Public Works Director. Am I in charge of a building, a facility? What am I in charge of, you know? I think I've asked for that clarification before, and I think we need to really dial in on that and separate duties, right? We don't want volunteers going outside of the volunteer realm, and we don't want staff members volunteering either. So it's a trade-off, but I think it's a conversation that should happen. Right now, we do have 24/7 coverage at Public Works, you know, so we've got an on-call phone that trades hands, and we've got a schedule, and you know, I think with those would be details we could work out.
Any other comments? None. All those in favor of the purchase of a remote monitoring system signify by saying aye.
Rylan, one word real quick.
Yes.
Mike reminded me, since Paul is online, we need to be doing voice votes for all of our votes.
Oh, okay.
So, real quick before we vote on this, Paul, if you're online, you can hear us here. Did you have any objections to any of the previous votes that we took?
No, I don't.
We'll be doing voice votes on everything, just so we're clear on that, just moving forward. Any questions, Paul?
Okay. Yep.
Jason.
So we'll go through if we're ready to do a vote on this.
Bring that to our attention.
Mayor first,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Nay.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass,
Aye.
4-1.
All right, it's approved. Johan? Yep. You want to speak to the next item, the training, EV training vehicle?
Moving on. EV training first.
Yep.
So as we all know, lots of more hybrid vehicles, and all the way from hybrid to completely EV vehicles are coming on the road. I think there's over 600 makes and models now that are on the road. Yeah, it surprised me too when I read that. So that's one thing that we need to be ready for. We've got Highway 52, and there's plenty of Teslas and other vehicles coming through our city and in our city. So having the background and the training to be able to handle those, and it's changing, and it's continuing to change. Unfortunately, the manufacturers have not given us like, here's how to handle this, right? Whereas like with a combustible engine, a regular car, you know, you put water on it, you cool it down, you put it out. EV cars are special. So, this is a great training. Every other month I'm at the Olmsted County Fire Chiefs meeting, and this same company came and gave us a little bit of a snippet, like about a half hour, 45-minute presentation. And I thought it was really a really good option to bring to our department, because we have not had any training in EV, vehicle fires. And we've got them. So, this is, completely reimbursable by the MBFTE, which is great. They actually added $900 this year just for EV training, so I'll cover a little bit more. But, yeah, so it's a 4-hour class that we're gonna have once in, because usually we do training, but this time we're gonna do it. So they bring a 53-foot semi. They've got cars that are completely built apart. So you can see, where they've got the batteries. They're gonna talk about thermal runaway. There's a lot of, different options. From there, we will be able to have an SOP, SOG in place for handling EV fires, because it differs between department to department. Some departments use a fire blanket. Some departments surround and drown. Some departments use sand. Some departments even just let it burn. So this will give us a good idea of what we're looking for. And yeah, so I'd like approval for that, and then I'll work with Mel to get this sent to the MBFT for reimbursement.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second. Do you know if there's gonna be additional equipment costs after this training? Like you say, some people like use whatever, sand, whatever.
Right.
What are we looking at potentially coming down the road?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Right now, because they actually have a fire blanket that was supposedly, able to be used as a $3,000 one-time use blanket. Okay. Come to find out that it wasn't effective. All it was doing was covering up all of the superheated gases, and when you took it off, it would basically explode. So now they're saying, don't use that. See what I mean? I mean, I think things are evolving and changing as we find out more and more about these vehicles, right? So more to come on it.
Okay.
It's definitely on, on my radar, more than on my radar. It's a big part of my radar.
So they're talking about the car itself. I don't know how many people have like charging ports in their house. Does it cover the actual charging and what you do within a garage and house setting too? Okay.
Yep. I think it was a couple months ago, Stewartville had a car.
I don't know how many people in Orinoco have that, but.
I don't know. I know Stewartville had a car fire that was an EV fire that was
In their
garage. So, yeah.
So the training covers the actual port too. Okay.
And again, I welcome, we'll have it filled, the class filled, but if council would love to come and see this, it's definitely be something to see. So
did I check that it's in a trailer?
yeah.
So where we're gonna store it?
No, so the training, all the training props and everything that they have, that they bring just for that training, just for that night.
Okay,
They bring in a semi, and they actually bring in a Tesla as well. So then they'll just take it all with them when they leave. Yep.
so this is just a one-time $3,000 event.
Yes.
Is this the type of thing that other fire departments would be interested in seeing it as well, or?
Absolutely. I've already reached out to Byron and Elgin. Talking with their fire chiefs as of late. They're excited to take part in this, and we can have up to 36 people. So with our department plus, I said 4 for Byron and 4 for Elgin, we should be able to have a full house.
Good.
So
It's fully reimbursable.
yes,
Any other comments?
assuming Mel and I, make it happen, which we will.
Seeing no other comments, we have a voice vote.
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Councilor Phillips,
Aye.
Councilor Spring,
I,
Councilor Rice-Dorfer,
Aye.
Councilor Pendergrass.
Aye.
Next item is a fit testing. Ed comments.
Yep, every year we do fit testing in accordance with OSHA and FPA. It's making sure our masks fit, right? So it's not only do they fit the person, has the person changed or not? Is there something wrong with the mask? Is there something not? Even though we do maintenance, we don't have the equipment to do the full, test. Like almost it's like sucks it to your face. They also do an EKG and a urine test for a myriad of items. So yep, and then they'll check your blood pressure and a couple other vitals. So we do it every year. Same company, Med Compass. So we try to do it in April of every year, so we have it here.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
So I see there's 26 units.
Mhm.
So is there issue of storing that information or equipment?
Oh, no, they bring the equipment.
Oh, it's another one that bring return.
Again, they bring it to us. They even bring the cot and everything that we gotta lay on, and
26 people will do it on.
26
so.
people will do it,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, okay, okay. This comes out of your training budget?
This does not, this actually it is budgeted on a different line item. For medical services.
Yeah, okay. That's
Yep, 41120.
right. I saw medical services and then training. I didn't know which one.
Yep.
What it was falling into,
Yep.
so.
Yep, medical services for this one.
Any other comments? Seeing none, do a voice vote.
Mayor Horst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
I,
Counselor Pendergrass.
Hi.
Yeah, it's approved. You have a new candidate for Explorer program?
Yep, that would put us back to 3. Because Caleb Schroeder turned 18 and got on the department. So we were down to 2 with Finn and Andrew, and then Sophia put in her application. So it sounds like she is, I wish I knew what I wanted to do when I was a sophomore. But it sounds like she really wants to pursue this as a career. It's a great opportunity to get your feet wet with this, so.
Make a motion to approve her as Explorer.
second it.
Any other comments, questions? Great to see that enthusiasm, that's for sure. Any other comments? Seeing none, voice vote, please.
Mayor Horst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
I,
Counselor Pendergrass.
Hi.
Fire relief, is Kent gonna do that or?
Wait, one more, sorry. One more,
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
so Ryan Fee was firefighter with us. But has not been to training since June 2025 and a meeting since August 2025. So I made the recommendation to remove him from the department, unfortunately, with his lack of participation. So, and believe it or not, the Orinoco City Code actually says something about it. So 3117 Section B, firefighters' absence from 3 consecutive drills or meetings unless excused by the chief shall forfeit membership in the department. So.
Make a motion to remove Ryan Fee.
Second. Has he been contacted to let him know that he's being removed?
I was waiting to send out I'm going to mail him a letter.
Okay.
Certified mail. I was waiting for you guys to give me the approval tonight, and then I'll send it out tomorrow.
How long's he been on? And does he have his own gear?
So he has, in my letter, I ask, because everybody, he does not have his own gear. He has not been on a year.
Okay.
He didn't have to spend any money, so he was just using what we had. So we're not out any money for that. He actually came in with his fire 1, 2 and hazmat classes done, so we didn't have to spend any money on that. The only thing that he has that is property of the city, which he did sign out because we have a sign in process for pagers and other things. He has his pager still. So in my letter, I'm also requesting that he return his pager either to me or to City Hall by March 15th.
Any other comments? Voice vote, please.
Mayor Ackworth,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Risedorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass. Did we lose him? Paul?
Aye, no comments. That's good.
Okay, next item, this is fire relief. A motion, resolution to approve increase of retirement fire relief from $3,000 to $3,500. Is there anybody speaking to that, or you, or Kent, or
Ken.
Kent's on, is he?
Yeah.
Kent, would you like to speak to the change in the pension level?
It's explained pretty well in that letter,
That's
but
pretty straightforward.
yeah, so I make a motion that we approve the increase.
I'll second that.
Any other comments? Well, with their pension, so it's not.
Yeah, the budget's there and everything, the dollars are there for it to do it, so.
They say
We're,
it is.
we're well funded, which is great.
No other comments? We'll do a voice vote.
Mayor Ackworth,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Risedorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Aye,
Thanks, Counselor.
Approved. Thank you, on. Next item. Responders. Report. Next item is Parks and Trails. Marie, would
Yeah,
you
you
want to
want me
speak
to
to
take
your submission form and
Yep, so Parks and Trails has been working over the last probably 8 months to bring an adopt a bench program to Orinoco, and really what it will be is to have a standard bench that residents and or businesses could purchase and put a memorable plaque on or something. So we've worked over the last couple of months to figure out what there's different bench options, and so in that packet, we have a standard bench that we would like to recommend. It is a 6-foot kind of plastic bench. It's like a cedar with a black frame. That costs about $726 plus an additional for shipping. It actually has some mounting that can actually make sure that it's not gonna move anywhere. And then we are gonna work with Kane to do cement underneath so they don't have to mow around it. And then we are going to be working as we figure out some of the trails on where we would pave them. And so we're looking for council endorsement on the program itself as well as the bench. And then we'll continue to bring more information about where these benches will actually live. We wanted to make sure that we're thinking about paving the trails before we're putting benches in and having to reconsider those. So we're gonna do it in a little phased space as well. We do want to use the city's communication channels to promote this program and see if there's people that are interested in it and where they would be interested. And so that is up for actual approval tonight.
Make a motion to approve the
I'll
bench
second that
program.
one. I think that's a good idea.
That include the plaque or signage that would
That's-
go along with it.
That's correct, but they're not that expensive. And the Parks and Trails would actually do like a dedication
Okay.
letter and go and recognize it if they wanted to do that. The actual plaques aren't very expensive, so.
so
I have a question on that if I can. I was just curious if they're sponsoring it, does that mean whoever's sponsoring it's gonna pay for the bench and?
It'd be a donation.
They're gonna make a donation to pay for them?
Yep. And we've even talked about if they don't wanna buy the whole bench, maybe they can put it in a pot. And we'll save money to get those, or if there's a business that wants to go in on it. So I think it's really just trying to see who's interested in what they're interested in doing. But yeah, they would donate that to the city on behalf of putting in a bench.
It's wouldn't it be kind of hard to put somebody's name on a bench if they didn't pay for the whole thing?
We'll figure it out.
2 plaques.
Yeah, 2 plaques, 10 plaques.
Will these benches be put on a concrete platform then?
Yeah. So then they
See
don't have
that,
to
yeah.
mow around it.
Does that 726 include the concrete pad?
No, but we're gonna take it out of Kane's budget.
Hello.
For the path to be paved before you do it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. There's some areas that are prime for some benches. There's others that we wanna make sure that we're thinking about where the path goes and if we wanna pave it before we're putting benches too, so. We wanna see what the interest is out there before we think about where all these bench placements. We've also talked about, there are ADA regulations on where benches should be placed. They're probably closer together than what we would maybe put them, but there are requirements of, or at least guidelines of kind of how far and where they should be placed. So I think we'll kind of work with that too.
That might be something we'll do in the projects to include that in the path project, a
Yeah.
little bump out for bench placement.
Yep.
So it doesn't eat into Kane's budget.
A great idea, and I think it'll be well received, so. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll do a voice vote.
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
Right.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Nay.
Okay, Jason, did you want to comment on employee relations? On the agenda here.
Yeah, just quick update. We've got 5 applications that we're reviewing right now, with the hopes to start, interviews beginning of next week. So pushing through.
The 2 positions?
Yes,
So potentially 2 out of the 5.
potentially 2, yep. So, but, so yeah.
Next item is unfinished business. This is a carryover from our, January meeting regarding gambling and charitable donations, distributions. The first one is a ordinance amending the provisions of Orinoco City Code Title 13, Chapter 130, Sections 130.007. I can read real quickly. The Orinoco City Code Title 13, General Offenses, Chapter 130, Gambling, Section 130.007 is hereby amended as follows. 130.007, contribution of net profits to fund administered by city. Point A, each organization licensed to conduct lawful gambling within the city pursuant to Minnesota Statute 349.16, as it may be amended from time to time, shall contribute 10% of its net profits derived from lawful gambling in the city to fund administered and regulated by the city without cost to the fund. Point B, the city shall disperse the funds for charitable contributions as defined by Minnesota Statute 349.12 subdivision 7A, as it may be amended from time to time, or police, fire, and other emergency or public safety related services, equipment, and training excluding pension obligations. Payment under the section shall be made quarterly. The city use of these funds shall be determined at the time of adoption of city's annual budget or when the budget is amended. There's a prior code, Minnesota Statute 50513. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon its publication. So with that, I make a motion, we approve ordinance 20.
So Ryland.
Yes,
This is Mike. I'm sorry. I'm on Zoom, but so there's two alternative ordinances there.
yes.
So the next one, so I don't think you should do a motion to approve it necessarily. I think there's an option B. And you should ask for a motion to approve either A or B, whatever the council wants
Okay.
to do. So option B is just to repeal that entire ordinance. So then you wouldn't be collecting the 10% anymore if you choose option B. If you choose option A, you just read it. And that one basically cleans up an error in your code because it said it didn't really reference the allowable uses for the funds correctly. So now it does. So it's just a cleanup of the code, but to keep doing it the same way would be option A. And to change the way you're doing it and no longer collect that 10% would be option B. That makes sense. Does that make sense, or you're
Yeah,
looking
so
confused?
I'll withdraw the start of that. So what I read was option A. Option B is an ordinance repealing the provisions of Oracle City Code Title 13, Chapter 130, Section 130.007. Section 1 says that's Orinoco City Code Title 13, General Offenses, Chapter 130, Gambling, Section 130.007 is hereby repealed and reserved for future use and shall thereafter be labeled reserved. This ordinance shall take effect upon its publications.
I make a motion to approve option B.
We have a motion to approve option B, is that right? For a second?
Second it for discussion.
I'll make a second to approve option B.
We have a second. Daniel, seconded. Discussion?
I would like to, my concern with repealing it completely is that if we have another organization come in and want to do gambling in the future, then we either have to not collect that, or we have to scramble to get something put back in, and that could look poorly on the city of putting that back in.
I think we have the ability to do that. Right now, that has not been the case up to this point in time with the city. Yeah, and so, if that would come, then I think that we have an ability to come and to be able to do that. We had discussed that before and trying to find ways, and Mike was in on that when we were discussing that. I think to make it clean, just to be at this point of what we have, is just to go this way, and then if we need to make an amendment or to change it in the future, it'd be pretty simple to be able to change it at that time.
And I can respect that, but I want to set consistency moving forward. And I understand that we haven't had anybody in the past, but that's not my concern. My concern is the future. So I would like to have it be option A is the way that I'm leaning.
Yes, I would, I couldn't support option B, mainly because what we're looking at here is still maintaining the 10% gambling on the Orinoco side, and it's to the point that Daniel made too. I think it's an excellent point that to me, I think it supports our community, and to deny it would be, we don't know what the future would be, and I just don't feel like that's the right way to go.
What's interesting is if you take a look at what's coming further in our packet, which is resolution number 2026-04. If you look at this, you're asking for the money for 2025. That $3,000 goes to the Lions Club. $2,000 goes to the Gold Rush. $2,000 goes to VFW. $500 goes to the History Center. $654.75 goes to Orinoco Age Friendly. I don't see any place in that money for 2025 that the fire department was even addressed, or any money goes to the fire department, okay? And the fire department relief is the one that does all the work on keeping track of this and does all the gambling that there is. You have completely shoved them in the toilet. So with that and the attitude that there is that goes along with it, that's why I'm going for option B. You don't even address all the stuff that's being done with the fire department.
Well, the discussion for option B, I appreciate the background of what you're saying. But I do think it's, we haven't discussed the resolution yet that you referenced. We're just looking at what we're dealing here with this option B option.
But we have to look at what you've already put down in paper of proof of where the city looks at it, that none of that money goes back to the fire department. And I think that that is totally wrong. I really do.
So maybe then we need to reverse that resolution or have some go back to them, but taking it out altogether, there is no oversight.
Well, again, who does all the work to do the gambling?
I know they do.
And they keep track of it. They're there every week doing that stuff. There's tremendous amount of effort that's put into it. It's not like, here comes free money and we're just gonna divide it up. And I don't think that that's right, so.
Maybe we need to, for that resolution later in the packet, maybe we need to bring them in and ask them on how they would like it to be distributed. So they get a part of that 10% and where it goes.
Well, again, there's a lot of the stuff that the relief does for this community. And just recently, they turned around and had given, $850 for the, like P and Z gymnastic stuff. So there's stuff that we do all the time that there is for the Relief Association for giving back to the city. And the city does do everything that there is. So the fire relief is one that's probably the most responsible for anything that there is in this town. So they're giving money back to this town, but then they've got the ability to decide where the money goes. Not arbitrarily the other way around where it's just given just because it's a part of that 10%. Also makes it that much easier for us as a city to keep track of it. Because they pay for what there is to go through for their audit. They don't come to the city and ask for the city for the $10,000 for their audit every year of what goes on for the Relief Association.
That's because they're completely separate. I just want to make sure we're clear talking about this. The relief is separate from the city.
But
It's not a city department. I just want to make sure that's clear.
The relief would keep everything that way and it stays there and the relief would take care of it. So I think it's better for the 10% to stay with them.
So the option B, it's, when we get to the resolution, we can talk about that, but that's, just like option A talks about. It's something that's reviewed every year. It's not set in stone. We're just looking at this 1 year. And so, that's why I would vote no for, not approving ordinance B. At the same time, the resolution that we're talking about a little bit later, I think we talk about the funds, they don't go back to the fire department, but at the same time, you look at the organizations that they're sponsoring and helping fund, in my mind, that's a bigger audience for people to appreciate what the fire department and the gambling is doing for the city. And I think that goes a long ways with supporting the fire department, the first responders, from all the organizations that the 10% is going to. Is how I look at it, so. Paul, do you have any comments, Paul?
No, I don't. I just think we had to go with Plan B because fire department should have some say in what's going on with it.
Any more comments? If not, let's do a voice vote.
Mayor Ikorst,
What are you doing a voice vote for?
it was on your motion
Okay,
for the approval of option B.
okay.
Mayor, could I just bring one opinion for you guys.
A nay.
Phillips, Counselor
Aye.
Phillips. Counselor Spring,
Nay.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
I'm a nay.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Yes.
Okay. That is not approved. 2-3.
What was the motion?
For
The
option,
motion was for B.
correct.
And there was 2 votes for it and 3 nays.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, by saying 3, 4, 2, 4, and 3 against it, what happens? Is option A or option B take effect?
We have to vote. So
Nothing, but so everybody, you have to understand something about option A. Your existing code is not accurate. And I can explain that. So you really have to approve one of these two, in my view. So either one or the other. So in the code, it says. you
well,
can use-
Mike, last time, so I just make a motion to approve option A.
I'll second it.
Yeah. So in option A, it says currently your code says for lawful purposes as defined by Minnesota statute 349.12 subdivision 25. But that's not actually accurate. So what the statute actually says is in subdivision 7A of that statute, it says charitable contributions means one or more of the lawful purposes expenditures under subdivision 25 paragraph A. And then it says clauses 1 to 7, 10 to 15, and 19. So it actually limits within subdivision 25, you can only spend it on certain parentheticals, not the whole statute. And the way your code reads now, it's the whole all of subdivision 25, which I don't think is. I'm not saying you were ever using the money for any illegal purpose, but I just think you should correct that ordinance then and limit actually allows, which is, so now it reads charitable contributions as defined by MS section 349.12 subdivision 7A, which is correct. And that's what you want. So if you don't approve B, I think you need to approve A. I mean, if you leave it as is, then I would say when you approve later in the meeting, you said there's a resolution to approve the expenses for that of the money you collected. You just have to make sure whatever you're spending the money on fits within that 349.12 subdivision 7A. And there's a list and it probably does, I'm guessing. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Thank you.
Okay, I didn't really explain it. I just created the resolutions. I didn't really explain it in a memo or anything, but that's why the change.
Yeah. But the other reason for reviewing option A too is that we're changing the wording of the ordinance as well. We're striking a couple of words in that and adding some more too, so it needs to be voted on anyway, so. All right, any other comments? Seeing none, do a voice vote.
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Nay.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Nay.
3-2, approved.
Next item on new business is something that we've brought to the council, but we bring it back here today as a motion to approve proposal from Ralph Anderson Construction to complete a facility condition assessment of City Hall Fire Department Public. I make a motion. We approve this motion.
Second.
This is already in our budget that we had approved, correct, Jason?
Yes, and I'll make a slight amendment to this. So you'll see in the packets that were online, it was put out. I did over the weekend got an update from Klaus Anderson firm. The prices did go up from last year a little bit. They went from 8,100 to 9,000. With that, looking it over today, different spots where we can pull the extra $900 difference from. I have three options where I think it would fit into the budget, to be able to utilize those. Two of them fall under the finance administration section, correction, under the community center budget. The first one, repair, maintenance, building and facilities. I think that qualifies just because this is the main facility that's gonna be looking at, is repair and maintenance of, this is the bigger one of the three that they're gonna be doing. They get the fire hall and the shop as well. But the other option in there, we have another, Daniel's favorite, we have another section that has $1,000 in there. That would cover under that. And then the final one is under the 425. We set money aside 25,000 under the shop side to start preparing for renovations and coming projects. I believe, talked with Kane, this would kind of fall under that as well, the same concept. So we do have a few different areas where we could pull that additional $900 from the budget code. If there's any recommendation on that, but otherwise, yeah, the 8,100 was budgeted for as part of the city budget this year.
So it talks about a 10-year plan. Do they take into consideration of what we would actually have in terms of budget and expenses for that? So again, would they look at what our long-term plan would be and align that to the work, or they're just gonna say you need to redo it? I mean, do everything and here's your 10-year plan to get there.
They're not saying like, this is the, here's your. The plan is gonna look at the overall conditions of everything,
Yeah.
and they're gonna say, this is where we see this plan going. That's to help us guide and direct that. Now, if we don't meet it, I mean, if we don't have the budget for it, we don't have the budget for it. But this gives us that footing and groundwork to say, hey, this is why we're asking for this money, or this is why we're doing this, or if we're going for grants, this is what says we need this grant this year to be able to do this project or to help in this project. And that's why they lay it out over that 10 years to kind of give us that ability to work inside that a little bit easier.
And they would like prioritize like urgent things versus
Yep.
things that need to get done later.
So everything's given a grade and a score of what's the most urgent and what's newer, doesn't need to be replaced, and what's the lifespan on it. It's given a grade and put into the system, and that's why it's kind of, they're not gonna say, oh, you need to do this year one, this year two, this year three. It's, no, these are your reds, these are your yellows, these are your greens. That's kind of like where you're at on the flow chart of what would need to be fixed as a priority.
So I have a couple of questions regarding on page 1 or page 34. There's a paragraph right above, does a project approach and work plan?
Yep.
The one thing I really like the idea is that they're gonna check the indoor air quality here at City Hall. And I think that's something that, Public Works is pretty new, but here in this building, I think it's really good that we're spending the time to make sure that the air quality is good or what it needs to be improved. And then on page 35, there's a bullet number 4 under present phase. It says provide a full digitized package of site plans, concepts, results, estimates, a 10-year plan, and a final report. So that will be a very comprehensive plan at all the buildings and aspects. On the back, on the exclusions on the next page, bulk printing of reports and findings. That's our city cost. It's on page 36. Exclusions.
Yeah.
So we'll get a digitized copy of it, but go.
There's also exclusions not included. Yeah, so if they want to do like bulk printing of this, 30 copies of the report, stuff like that, that stuff's not included. But we get all the basic,
We get a
Yeah.
digitized
yeah.
disk drive or flash drive.
Yep, we'll get a flash drive with all of it and we'll have access. Kane, I'm trying to remember if was there online access to it? They had I'm trying to remember if they had a login. I believe they did. They will be able to access for a while as well, to be able to pull off of the cloud. So.
And it's a relatively quick turnaround, 3 to 4 weeks. So
Yeah,
there's a schedule, so that's great.
and this will involve, we'll bring in the fire department, first responders, they'll be part of this. Public Works, they'll have a lot of involvement too. Where they begin that, then we get into the actual 3 to 4 weeks, so.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll do a voice vote.
We need to designate where the money's coming from first.
Already coming from what we had budgeted, with the exception of the $900, that's a difference, and whether we pull that from Kane or.
I can pick one or you guys can tell me where it's.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, other than
Yeah.
that, the base amount for, the 8,100's already been in our budget for the year.
Yeah,
I don't care where it comes from, whether it's the
I mean, I can make the
miscellaneous
best, we can talk about it, make the best choice for, it's fine, so, but, okay.
All right, the voice vote, please.
All right, Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
All right,
Counselor Spring. Aye. Counselor Rice-Dorfer,
I,
Counselor Pendergrass,
Nay.
4-1, approved, thank you.
Next item is resolution 2026-04. The resolution of City Council of the City of Orinoco, Minnesota, charitable contributions from the 10% gambling fund. Whereas the City of Orinoco receives monthly revenue 10% gambling contribution ordinance 130.07. And whereas the City of Orinoco has $8,174.75 and 10% gambling contributions from Orinoco Fire Relief Association to be used on or before the last day of February 2026. By definition of the Minnesota Gambling Control Board via Minnesota statute, state statute 349.23. And now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Orinoco, Minnesota does hereby approve these dollars to be granted through charitable donations to the following entities in the specified amounts. Orinoco Lions Club, Community Fireworks donation, $3,000. Downtown Orinoco Gold Rush Days, sponsoring family and community events such as Kids Zone, Medallion Hunt, Artesian Alley, which is local farmers market, and live music, $2,000. Orinoco VFW 9647, supporting local veteran services, $2,000. Orinoco History Center, $500. Orinoco Age Friendly, $640.75. And to be further resolved that the city administrator or his authorized designee to take steps necessary for the implementation of this resolution. So with that, I make a motion. We approve the resolution.
I'll second it for discussion.
Agree.
yeah, it's interesting because, I'm just going what we had approved in the ordinance just earlier this evening. And if you look at it on would be Minnesota statute 349.12 subdivision 7A. Maybe amended from time to time, or police, fire, and other emergencies of public service related services, equipment, and training. This is what it's supposed to go for. Unfortunately, I don't see where the fireworks is a part of that. I don't see where Downtown Gold Rush is a part of that. VFW is a part of that. Orinoco History Center is a part of it. So there's nothing that's in here that should be going to what we want to have, which is for the fire department and for equipment and training and fire and police and other emergency of public safety. So it does not fit to what we had just approved.
It does say charitable contributions right above what you just read. So
So can I be heard on it? So what you can spend the money on is anything in subdivision 25 of that same statute, clauses 1 through 7 or 10 through 15 or 19, or you can donate the money for equipment for those fire and police equipment, basically. So it's not that, I think Jim is reading it to mean that he's reading it to that it has to go to police, fire, other emergency public safety equipment training, excluding pension obligations, but it's any of those things or something listed in Minnesota statute 349-12 subdivision 7A. And then if you go to that statute, that 7A statute, it references subdivision 25, paragraph A, clauses 1 through 7, 10 through 15, or 19. So, and then if you go down to read those, I'm not going to read them all, but number 1, for example, says any expenditure by or contribution to a 501c3 for festival or festival organization, as this defined in subdivision 15A, provided that the organization and expenditure or contribution are in conformity with the standards prescribed by the board under statute, which standards must apply to both types of organizations to the same extent. So, and then, you can go to B, contribution or expenditure for goods or services for an individual or family suffering from poverty. You can read them down 1 through 7, 10 through 15, or 19. So I haven't independently checked this resolution to determine if what you're proposing to spend the money on is allowable or not. I assume you guys are doing that when you're, distributing this money. I think that the fireworks is probably the one that does fit because it's for Gold Rush days, right? Isn't that during Gold Rush?
July.
July.
Oh,
And again,
4th of July. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
what I'm looking at, there's nothing here that has anything to do with fire or first responders. And they're the ones that are donating the money. There's nothing here.
So I'll speak to that. Again, it's fire relief who is required to give the money, not donate the money. And my understanding, we have a deadline to spend the money by. That wasn't done in 2025. So we are putting forward ideas in the community in which the city can donate these funds to help these community organizations outside of the fire relief, who's their own separate organization that may donate to many of these as well. The city's looking to donate to them, these groups, and help these groups within our community, which is why they were put forward this way.
My suggestion would be that they help us determine where they should be spent and how they should be spent, because I agree, if they're willing to put the effort in to do the gambling and do all the work, they should have an input that obviously goes through council, but they should have a say of where this money goes because they're doing the work.
Is that for any organization that comes in and does gambling in the future?
I would think so.
I would think that would be the case too.
That'd be I mean,
It's only the fair way to do. It really
we
is.
may pick the same ones, but they should at least have a say in it, would be my opinion.
Can I address the council about this? So the fire relief does give money every year to different organizations. In the past few years, we've given money to the VFW for some kitchen, like range hood, things. Even in March, we're doing, something with the, age-friendly Orinoco, where we're doing, the relief is giving $250. And I actually think Bank is giving another $250 to have a puzzle night at the fire station. Other things that, like last year, I think the fire relief gave $1,000 to the fireworks. Every year we give to the Grace Foundation. There's other charitable organizations that we give to. So just, we don't publicize that. But there is plenty of money that's going out for those organizations in and around our community. So,
Yeah, if you look at the 1 through 7, 10 through 15, and 19, I don't know where fireworks would fit in those situations.
I think that the Lions was just listed as a
festival.
501c3 for charitable contribution was just how it fit in,
Okay.
was that it is a 501c3. And just if you let me add for clarification, just kind of how we ended up here and what the intent of the resolution ended up being. is that the 10% gambling, dollars really should be getting distributed quarterly, if not semi-annually throughout the year. The city certainly would support any of these dollars going back to fire for equipment or training, which we have done much of that in the past. Unfortunately, just due to lack of understanding or help or whatnot, how that process works is fire would want to make a purchase or come to council with a purchase, knowing or a quote, and saying we'd like to make this purchase. We'd like to use dollars from the 10% gambling fund to pay for that. It's instead of using our budget, and a resolution then would be drawn up for that. And so those monies would be given for that specific equipment or training, and that would be said in the resolution. We could do that every single month of the year if you want to. It doesn't have to be quarterly or annually. That's not mandated. It's just kind of how we've done it. Because that did not take place during 2025. We do have a legal LG 510 gambling report that has to be filed by the end of February. But we have a balance, the balance that's listed there in your resolution of dollars that need to be dispersed before the end of February so that that form can be filed in time. So what we did was we found 501(c)(3)s, which are a legal way that these funds can be dispersed without an invoice in hand that we could designate tonight so that we can file that form in time by the last day of February. And so that's sort of the intent or where the resolution came from. I do not disagree that the fire relief could have been included in this list and could still be added in this list if you wanted to change or amend the resolution the way that it is. That's entirely up to council.
And I'll add to that, we put on here some certain things. I don't know that necessarily putting in there that it's for community fireworks. We can't necessarily say, hey, Lions Club, you have to use this for this. Like, it would be more of just a general donation to these individual groups for whatever services they see fit.
And they are all 501(c)(3)s, so they would fit the mandated intended use by the state.
And you say that the fire department's gotta come with an invoice, and what they have, has there been an invoice given to us by the Lions Club, by Gold Rush, by VFW?
So that's just for the equipment and training.
Yes, but I
The way
get
that the
it.
state regulates that those monies be dispersed has to be through an invoice and check.
I just
That's
think that,
charitable.
I just think this is very poor. I think that you're giving no consideration for all the work that the relief does, and I really think that it's poor. Really, 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 really poor. Very poor on how the city looks at the fire relief and all the work that they do. And that's the attitude that you have. That's what you're giving to the fire department and the relief and all their work.
I'm gonna disagree with that from the city administrative side. That is not our belief. So I just want that being out there that I fully disagree with that. That may be your feeling and opinion on it, but that's not the fact. So
And I believe that you're the city administrator and we're city council, so we're talking as council of what we do. Okay, so I appreciate that and I respectfully hear you, but again, this is council.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I mean, the Orinoco Firefighters Relief Association is a 501(c)(3), which is probably the only one not listed in your donation list. And then I also want to remind you that I think because you approved option A earlier, you probably still need to accept our January donation.
And we'll have to do that at the March. We'll have to have a resolution in March for that.
So who made the motion for this one?
I didn't resecond it.
I second
Okay.
it for discussion.
So I would like, I disagree, Jim, that's how, that we're treating them that way and that's how it comes off. I think 10% of the gambling fund coming back to the city is us giving them basically free reign to do the gambling here where they don't have any other competition. But with that being said, I would like to make a friendly amendment to this that half of each one of those dollar amounts be taken and given to the fire relief with the designation for going to some of the equipment that they're upgrading this year. And I don't know if we can designate it that way, but
And it would just be it would just
it'd
be a
just be a
general.
check.
Yep.
Okay, that would be my friendly amendment to that. And then I think that we really do have to look at how we're doing this in the future. I would like more discussion earlier than just a few days in advance we're just kind of on a tight line. But I would take half of each one of those dollar amounts and distribute that to the fire relief.
So the 8174, half of that would go to
Yeah.
fire.
And we'd just be splitting the rest of those donations in half evenly.
I can accept Daniel's offer there. I think that's a good way to do that, to be fair in the short term here. Just being off the cuff where we're doing this.
So I made the motion, so I'll accept the friendly amendment.
I think the only other thing for discussion is, I agree, Danielle, I think we should do this earlier and often and bring fire relief into the conversation of where money should be spent. And bring it here with them, as that partnership.
And I agree that's a way to amend what's going on, and I think they should be involved with where they look out. Okay, I've got, those guys put in so much effort that there is to keep track of everything that goes along. And it looks like it's freebie that they have to do it. The amount of work and effort that's put in is unbelievable, so,
I guess I appreciate what you're saying, and I don't think anybody meant this to be a slight, disrespectful. We do though that the Fire Relief Association, everybody associated with the fire department, they do a great job. They like the training. We like the training. There's full respect. I just feel like it's something that the 10% gives back to the city, where the city's being able to have a fire department and function and budget money for the fire department. And they can go out and do these gambling events and sponsor. It does take a lot of work. And the city supports that and will continue to support that. I just feel like this is a way back to contribute to the community for what the city gives the fire department and first responders the opportunity to do what they do so well. So I'll accept the amendment, but I do think there is a purpose and a need to give back to the community, and that's what this 10% does.
Yes, I agree with that. That allows the city to give back to the community, and most of this gambling, I would say, is probably done by Orinoco taxpayers, at least a big chunk of it. So this is giving back to the community on their behalf as well, so. But I think that with the time crunch, that's just a fair way to handle this tonight.
Any other comments? So the motion has been amended to split the $8,174 between the fire relief and the donations listed on resolution 2026-04. We'll modify the language of the resolutions to reflect that. There's no other comments. We do a voice vote.
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spreen,
Aye.
Counselor Risedorfer.
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Aye.
I vote thank you.
Next item is the consent agenda. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second, I'd like to pull the liquor license out.
Okay. For what purpose?
I just wanted to,
Separate.
to discuss that. I think we agreed prior that liquor licenses should be separate of the consent agenda.
Yeah, we had talked about that last year.
I don't think that,
I think it was
that's something,
intended to be.
I don't necessarily have an issue with this, I think there'll be a need for it. But I just wanted it pulled out
It
separate.
should be in-
That's the right way to do it. I agree 100%. We talked about that, so.
Yeah, we had, Billy's. Yeah, permit. And the Gold Rush licensing agreement.
I would like to pull page 77 and 79 on the Gold Rush licensing agreement. On number 5, on the right-of-way use, it shows for First Avenue Northwest from Center Street to Fourth Street Northwest. And shows both sides of the street are being used for Gold Rush booths. And there is no, I brought it up last year that on the east side of First Avenue from Center Street to the fire hall, there is no right-of-way space there for the city, for Gold Rush to be using it. There's a utility easement there, but that doesn't give them the right to use it as for that space. Our property itself goes right back about 6 inches off the blacktop.
That's a good point, Paul.
Yeah, you see it striped both ways on the map on page 79. And I just think them two blocks, I know down there behind Fluffy's place, he gives it Gold Rush permission, but I guess I'm not giving him permission to set vendors in our backyard.
Street. And that
They haven't been there before, and there's no reason to give that now. They have the rest of the space.
That's a second. Street.
Paul, we're just talking, I think you might have an old one. Mel said it got updated
Is
in
it-
exhibit A. What number, Mel?
5 says Fourth Street as
Oh,
well.
it does say exhibit A.
So is it, Paul, is it page 84 and 85 you're talking about?
Yep.
I'm looking at what, I'm
Right.
looking at exhibit B for the Gold Rush map.
Yeah,
You're right,
that's
Paul.
it.
On A, row number 5, it still says Fourth Street.
Yeah.
Yes, it's number 5 on exhibit A on the right of ways.
We did amend that number 5 to Second Street versus Fourth Street, which should have been in the amended agenda copy, but we can certainly make that amendment here today.
It should be from First Avenue. This says it's from West Center to Fourth Street Northwest.
Yeah, that's Mel saying that we should change that.
Number 5 needs to be amended. You're correct.
Yep, okay. Thank you.
Is that right on your?
No, but I talked to her about this before we put it in. I was like, we did this last year with Paul. I want to make sure we get the right one in there. I tried, Paul. I really did.
It's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to bring it up.
Thank you.
The other
Okay, thank-
revision needs to be on the next page under Oracle City Park, 310 Fifth Street. Item number 3, or one of those should include the duck derby. That's missing.
Which number was that? What page on that?
It's on exhibit.
It doesn't. We can submit a revised copy.
Let's do that. Let's just submit a revised.
It's the sheet after the map.
We'll just revise. We have time to do a revised one with no problem, so. We put it in for next month and just revise it.
Just pull that out to table for next month and.
It's part of exhibit A at the end. Exhibit A has the Oracle City Park 310, there's 2 points and there should be a third point. The Duck Derby at Oracle Park. It didn't get, it's been corrected, it's just not in the packet.
I think we said we would just pull it out
Yeah,
and then
pull
bring
out
it back
For next month.
with it updated. I'd also like to pull the Tilly's gathering permit just for discussion.
Do we just have those two permits that we're gonna discuss? Just the liquor and for Tilly's
And table,
and table the other one.
Yeah.
So the, you want to take the off sale one,
no,
No.
tabling
agreement?
the.
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush agreement. And then pulling the liquor license and the gathering agreement for Tilly's out. For discussions.
All right, so we'll vote on the consent with those two things being pulled. All in favor of the consent agenda, two items?
Voice vote. I gotta do a voice vote.
Yes, aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Aye.
Make a motion, then, since we're looking at the consent agenda with the two that have been pulled out. Which is for the gathering permit. For Tilly's. Make a motion to approve that.
Second, go ahead.
I'll second it for discussion. My only comment is, will they let residents know about this?
Have in the past every year that they've
Yeah,
done.
they're really
this
good
is
about
the
that.
year that-
So we'll make sure there's a public awareness
Yeah.
because those
this
houses
is
butt
the
up.
year. And they've been good for the last 2 years, so that's.
As long as they do that, I'm.
Yeah. Do I make a motion again to approve?
I'll second that.
We spoke?
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Reisdorfer,
Aye.
Counselor Pendergrass.
Aye.
And then I'll make a motion to approve the off-sale liquor license for Two Sisters Kitchen.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I think there's a need to replace what one we lost.
They're doing that.
The only thing that I would, how many off sales are we going to allow have in the city and?
We don't really have anything in code.
Okay,
It's always kind of been at the council's discretion. I think that's something we should look at moving forward as we potentially get more commercial growth and stuff like that. I do know a lot of cities. But as of right now, there's nothing that says there's a set number of them.
So are they,
I was just saying, and we're watching it, I think, as council.
Yeah.
You know, and again, we were approving what there was up at the show gas.
where it got approved before it closed.
Yeah, and so, and again, it's one of those things you have to turn around and have the, be able to pay for the inventory before you can, and so. You know, it's a matter of who's got the financial.
Tilly's the fire hall. There's Tilly's, there's Two Sisters Restaurant. There's that gas and go. That gas and go is closed.
Future, and then we are competing against people that have off sales that we've approved for, so that's just kind of contradicting, but that would be future.
Right, and again, we originally did have that, and that was pulled back.
That was a while ago, right?
And just so council is aware, the off-sale, and the off-sale liquor license at the Snack Attack, formerly Gas and Go, is still a valid liquor license. They are closed or inoperational, or they're selling to someone else. We're not sure what's happening there. We know they're not, the doors are not open right now. But that license is still a valid license, through the last day of July of 2026. If council should consider to make any change to that.
I think we had to bring that up next meeting that there is and discuss that at that time.
Probably, we have to just wait till renewal for them, I would
Or
imagine.
or if it's closed and the business is closed, then we
Then it's a
can,
non-issue.
yeah, we
But
can
if Dana's
review it
talking
as a
about the
non-issue.
permits, that
Yeah,
one still.
that is one thing that I don't think that we should be having, 5, 6 off sales in the city moving.
I agree, I agree.
On sale, there's limits there by population, I think.
I have to go back and look. Yeah,
That's something we need to talk as well.
Yeah, we have one.
So that might be something that we just have to get in the books as we're.
Two Sisters.
Two sisters and Tillman.
We have one.
Greeners.
We have
Oh, that
one
hasn't come up yet.
permit. On sale permit still available based on
Oh,
population. There's one. So
One-
Greener, we have
one
one available.
One's still available. Yeah.
Oh, based on population.
And that's
We-
the city ordinance that it's in
I,
code.
Yeah.
Okay.
and we
Any
do
other
have that
comments?
we potentially have Greeners, so we need to apply for that. I would imagine.
All those in favor of Two Sisters off sale liquor license application,
Well, since Paul.
please call the voice vote. Thank you.
Mayor Ikorst,
Aye.
Counselor Phillips,
Aye.
Counselor Spring,
Aye.
Counselor Rice-Dormer, Counselor Pendergrass.
Hi,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Favor?
So I'm not doing the voice.
Saying aye.
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 Very good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Paul.
Aye. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Paul's in Texas.
8:12.